Grocery prices are wild right now, and if you've got a family to feed, you know how fast those bills add up. Let's talk about real-life ways to save money and eat well. As a registered dietitian and mom of 3 growing boys who seem to be absolute bottomless pits for food, I've had to become a master at stretching grocery dollars. I've helped so many families slash their grocery bills while maintaining good nutrition. And today I'm sharing those strategies with you. Last week, my boys plowed through an entire bag of beef jerky, a box of cereal, and container of strawberries in 2 days. 2 days, people. With grocery prices still climbing, I know that many of you are feeling the squeeze because I am too. Today, I'm sharing my 21 top genius ways to save serious money on groceries without sacrificing nutrition or good flavor. These are the strategies that have saved my family thousands over the years through military moves across countries and states, growing kids, and yes, even good old inflation. So grab a pen or screenshot your favorite tips because number 2 alone could save you up to $500 a month. Inventory your goods. This is the shop what you have approach, and it is so clutch for keeping track of what you've got so you can actually use it. I mean, how many times have you bought something at the grocery store, go to put it away when you get home, only to realize that you had a brand new bag of brown rice sitting right in your pantry? I'm sure we've all been there, so quit double buying and shop what you've got first. At my house, we keep an ongoing inventory of what's in our deep freezer and our overflow pantry. Now, to be fair, this is my husband's genius idea and my kids' job to update it each week, and then I get to reap the benefits. But when I'm planning, I can simply check the list on the app we use to see if we have ground turkey in the freezer or pasta in the pantry. Once you know what you've got, then it's time to plan. Meal plan strategically. The number 1 way to save on your groceries is meal planning, hands down. But not just any meal planning, strategic meal planning. Here's what most people get wrong. They choose their recipes, scroll through Pinterest, choose what looks good, and then shop. Instead, flip that. Start by checking what's already in your pantry, your fridge, and your freezer, that inventory we just talked about. Shop what you have at home and then build your meals with those items. After your inventory, create the strategic plan. Plan out 4 to 5 meals that use those pantry items up. I'm willing to bet that you've got some canned goods way in the back of your pantry that needs to be used up, or some frozen proteins down in the bottom of your freezer that are just waiting to be turned into dinner. Let's take that example. Some canned chickpeas and frozen chicken become Greek chicken and chickpeas. And then take it a step further, turn those leftovers into flatbread pizzas on naan bread, topped with extra veggies like some spinach or some broccoli. As a dietitian, I love this approach for adding veggies into the meal. And as a mom, I love that it saves money too. If you want to learn how to make budget-friendly Greek chicken and chickpeas, I'm dropping the link to that video down in the description. Now, since we're talking about meal planning, let's talk about one of my favorite strategies. Cook once, eat twice, or even more. Double a recipe and then freeze half. This is a lifesaver on those busy nights and helps you avoid expensive takeout. In our house, whenever I make a lasagna, I'll actually make 2. Once for dinner that night, and then 1 goes in my freezer. And sometimes I'll even make 3, which includes 1 for a friend who could use a night off from cooking. The cost per serving drops dramatically, and my time investment pretty much stays the same, which I love. This strategy alone saved us from at least 2 different takeout nights last month, which is at least $120 saved for my family of 5. For more tips like this, plus delicious recipes and nutrition facts, subscribe to my email newsletter. I send it out twice a month and it's full of all kinds of nourishing goodies. Click the link down in the description to join. If you've ever shopped when you're ravenous and loaded your cart up with too many things, let me know by hitting that like button now. I have definitely been there. And studies show that we end up spending on average 40% more when we shop when we're hungry. As a dietitian, I've seen this pattern with countless clients. You not only buy more, you tend to buy higher calorie, less nutritious options when you shop when you're hungry, because we just want to get something in our stomach. So here's my favorite solution for this. Order your groceries online and do a pickup instead. This not only saves money, but it saves you time. I am always so much happier when I take the time to inventory, plan, and then just order and pick up my groceries. I don't have to mess around in the store. Plus, it cuts down on impulse buys. Okay, whether you're shopping in the store or from the comfort of your couch, if it's not on your list, it doesn't go in the cart. I know that sounds strict, but this one habit can save so much money and mental energy. I keep a running grocery list on my phone that my whole family can add to. When one of my boys tells me that we're out of milk or string cheese or snacks, it's always snacks, I tell them to add it to the list. This system has cut down our forgotten items and emergency store runs by probably 80%. And speaking of grocery shopping, these Thrive Nutrition RDN tote bags are awesome for organized shopping. They are sturdy enough for even the heaviest produce, and they fold nice and flat for storage. Plus, they're super cute. Click the link down in the description to grab yours today before they sell out. Okay, skip the individually portioned snacks. Those little bags of popcorn or goldfish for your kids are certainly convenient, but they are marked up majorly. Just buy the full-size bag and portion them out yourself. It's not that hard and it takes very little time. Just 5 minutes of your time portioning them out can save you $15 to $20 per grocery run. And I also keep snack-sized little bags in my pantry so my kids can grab the big bag, fill up their small bag, and go, and we forget those prepackaged products. When fresh produce is pricey, hit the frozen aisle. Frozen fruits and veggies are often just as nutritious as fresh and way more affordable when produce prices spike. Plus, they are often picked at their peak of ripeness and flash frozen to preserve their deliciousness. Frozen fruits and veggies last longer and they help you cut down on food waste, which is a biggie. This winter, when fresh berries were $6 for a tiny container, we switched to frozen berries for blackberry compote or for smoothies, and we saved about $15 a week. And from a nutritional standpoint, frozen produce can actually contain more nutrients than fresh that's been shipped for long distances and sitting on shelves. Stretching meals is one of my favorite dietitian hacks. One of the easiest ways to extend a meal is to add beans or lentils to a meat dish. Add black beans into your tacos, add lentils to spaghetti bolognese. It makes the dish more filling, it adds fiber, which we all need more of, and protein, and then it saves you from using twice as much meat, which tends to be more expensive. Taco night at my house always includes some Mexican spiced roasted chickpeas along with ground turkey. This cuts the meat by half, but it doubles the fiber and protein, and my boys actually really prefer it. They say it's more flavorful and filling, and they like the crunch of those chickpeas. And for my family of 5, this strategy alone saves us about $25 a week on meat. When it makes sense, stock up on your staples like oats, rice, and beans and nuts. But make sure that you're actually going to use what you buy so it doesn't go to waste. Some stores offer bulk aisles where you can portion out the amount of nuts you need in a little bag, and this is awesome. Now, if you're shopping in a big bulk store like a Costco or a Sam's, that's not the case. Sometimes these big wholesale stores can really draw you in with a deal on some huge bag of something that you might not really eat. If you rarely eat that item, don't buy it. It's not going to be a deal anymore if it just sits in your pantry or in your freezer. Store brand items are often made by the same companies as the name brands, and they're often just as good and often just as nutritional. Don't be afraid to test out the less expensive option and see what you think. If you want a mango in the middle of winter, you are going to pay extra for it. Seasonal produce is fresher, more affordable, and it tastes better. Stick with what's in season and then rotate your meals accordingly. And if you really want to make raspberry mango sorbet in December, grab some frozen mango for the cheaper option. Comparing unit pricing is a big helper to decide between 2 products. Instead of looking at the big listed price, check the price per unit or per ounce. Sometimes the larger product might look like the better deal, but when you compare the unit price, it might not be it. Plus, this helps avoid some deceptive food marketing tactics out there. So look at the unit price and compare per ounce or per unit. Almost every grocery store now has an app that offers some kind of reward or coupon system. And since we have moved all over in the past 20 years, I can tell you that each store is offering different deals each week. Download your local store's apps. You can still look in the old school flyer, but guess what? Those flyers are now in the apps too. Check what is on sale each week and compare between stores for the best deals. Now that we've shopped, we need to make sure the food that we purchased doesn't go to waste. Invest in a few good containers and make sure your fridge isn't turning into a science experiment. Cool food completely before you put it in the fridge. Then label the container and date it so you know what's what. When leftovers are easy to see and to grab, you're more likely to actually eat them. Here's a tip that one of my clients shared with me that I absolutely love. They have a designated eat first shelf in their fridge. Everything that needs to be eaten in the next 1 to 2 days goes right on that shelf. So that when you're looking for a snack or leftovers for your lunch, you're grabbing that first. And this family says it cuts their food waste by at least 50%, which means saving money. What is your top tip for saving money at the grocery store? Drop it to me down in the comments. I love to hear new ideas. Use the first in, first out to avoid food waste. Now for those leftovers, don't just cram everything into your fridge. I've certainly been there, but then don't you cringe the next time you open your fridge up? Have a system. Newest items go in the back, oldest to the front. Restaurant and food service establishments use this first in, first out method, also called FIFO, to reduce food waste, and you should too. Rotate your older items to the front so that you can use them before they go bad. I mean, how many times have you piled new produce on top of last week's produce only to throw away some mushy, moldy cucumbers later in the week? It's the worst. Speaking of produce, before that last produce goes bad, freeze it. Blueberries freeze beautifully and can be saved to just pop into a smoothie for another day. Plus, this helps save on that food waste. I keep a smoothie bag in the freezer for any fruits that are starting to get too ripe. Those spotty bananas, the last few strawberries, half of an avocado, they'll all go in, sealed up and frozen. And then we get probably an extra 2 to 3 smoothies a week from produce that would have just ended up in the trash. All right, now let's do a rapid fire for 5 more money saving tips. Skip the done for you stuff. If you are looking to cut your grocery bill, this is a big one. A prepackaged salad is way more expensive than buying the components and chopping them up and making a salad yourself. And I totally understand the convenience of it, and that sometimes buying the pre-done salad actually gets us to eat some veggies versus not buying it at all. But to save money, skip those prepackaged salads and cut up yourself. Next, buy the dried beans. Dried beans are dirt cheap, and they aren't really difficult to make. If you have an Instapot or a slow cooker, it makes dried bean cooking so much easier. Leave the overspenders at home. Whether it's your kids or your spouse or your friend who loads up the cart, leave them at home so that you can stick to your list. Buy cheese in blocks, not pre-shredded. Hear me out on this one. Buy the block and shred it yourself. Seriously, it takes very little time to actually grate some cheese. You can put in a container, pop a lid on it, and have it in your fridge for ready to go. It is a major money saver. Plus, you won't have the extra preservatives that go along with some of the pre-shredded cheese. Finally, stop those midweek pop-ins to the store. The more times you pop into the grocery store for just a few things, the more likely you are to spend more. We browse through the aisles, even if we're going through quick, and go, do I need more coffee? Do we need more peanut butter? And we grab them without knowing what we really need, or we give into some of those impulse buys like my favorite kettle chips. Meal plan, make your list and stick to it, and that will save you some money. These 21 strategies have saved my family thousands of dollars over the years through growing kids, military moves, and good old economic ups and downs. To get started with your strategic meal planning, click the video on your screen right now, and I'll see you over there. Until then, eat well, be well, thrive. Now, I know that sounds strict, but this one habit can save so much energy.